In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you by Campbell Bonding Company. Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
Court's going to call matter for formal sentencing. This is CR 2015-59, State of Arkansas versus Jerry Dale Kilburn, and 2015-56, State of Arkansas versus Jerry Kilburn. Gentlemen, is there anything more to be presented from either side in terms of sentencing in Mr. Kilburn's case?
None by the defendant, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and I would just merely remind the court of the state's request of 20 and 20 stack.
All right. Mr. Kilburn, do you have anything further you wish to say before sentencing?
No.
The court has thought long and hard about this, and first of all, it's made no easier to determine the appropriate sentencing based on the excellent and widely divergent presentations made by the attorneys for the state and Mr. Kilburn's attorney. Both sides in this matter were well represented and presented strong and compelling arguments for their respective positions. The court has been involved in the court system for close to 40 years at this point, and I've never seen a good solution for these vehicular manslaughter cases in terms of what's just. It inevitably comes down to there isn't a sentence I can impose on you, Mr. Kilburn, that will make the other side, make the family of the victims feel any better about it.
I understand that.
And there isn't anything. There isn't any way that any sentence I impose, I know will be a true hardship on you and your present physical condition. So, having considered it and trying to appear what would be a just sentence, the court is going to sentence the defendant as follows. Court is imposing on the charge of manslaughter 2 counts. On each manslaughter count, the defendant is sentencing the court is sentencing the defendant to the maximum sentence on the C felony of 10 years on each sentence. On the possession of methamphetamine, the sentence being imposed is 6 years. on that. Both of those sentences are in 2015 59. In 2015 56, where the charge that the defendant has pled to is possession of drug paraphernalia, Class D felony, the court is sentencing the defendant to serve 6 years on that. On the driving while license suspended in 2015-59, the court is going to place the defendant in the county jail for 30 days on that misdemeanor offense and revoke his license at this point. Obviously, the issue at this point is to what extent the court feels that justice demands these sentences be run consecutive rather than concurrent. In this case, the court feels that what's important in this case is that 2 people's lives were lost. And on the 2 counts of manslaughter, the court's going to run those sentences consecutively. On the manslaughter case, on the possession of methamphetamine, that 6-year sentence will be concurrent. In the case in 2015-56, where the court is sentencing the defendant on the possession of drug paraphernalia, the court has looked hard at, has thought seriously of imposing consecutive sentencing on that case, because that case came after Mr. Kilburn had recovered from his injuries received in the accident, and then he went right back to being in a car, in a vehicle, in the presence of drug paraphernalia with people who clearly were using drugs. However, the court, and so the court thought to make that a consecutive sentence as well. However, the court recognizes that at that point in his life, Mr. Kilburn probably, the court doesn't think he was in a position to fully understand what he was doing. He was just at the end of the recovery process and beginning to go back and see some of the friends he'd known before. The court's just not convinced that he was actively going back to the using drugs, which was what was argued by the state. And I understand it's an excellent argument made by the state, but at that point, the court is just going to run that concurrent as well. The sentence then will be 20 years to serve with concurrent sentences on the rest. The court is imposing imposing a fine of $1,000 on each felony count, along with court costs and other standard fees and fines. That will be the sentence of the court. Mr. Kilburn, at this point, the court will remand you into the custody of the sheriff's office to await transportation to the Department of Corrections.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
2016-258, State of Arkansas versus Jennifer Vandergriff.
Your Honor, she's made an application to the Public Defender's Office, so I may approach.
Okay. Thank you.
Give them to you.
Court will make the appointment of the Public Defender's Office to represent Ms. Vandergriff.
Your Honor, would waive a formal reading of the information and enter a not guilty plea.
Plea of not guilty on the charges of making and uttering hot checks is noted. Court will. This is one I don't have. It appears that she was served with a warrant on the 15th day of September 2016. This will be set by scheduling order for the dates on our scheduling order. May 8th for trial. That's 2017. March 24th for pre-trial, both as 2017, and a reappearance on February 10th. The court's going to set this down based on experience with making and uttering hot check cases. I'm going to set it down for reappearance on December. I think it's December 9th.
It is, Your Honor, but I've talked to Mr. Gibson. I think we can resolve it October 28th.
Yeah, the October date will work, Your Honor.
All right. Move it up that fast. Put it down for reappearance on October 28th. You may be excused.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
A hint of autumn is in the air, and the staff at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop invite you to stop in and browse their selection of new fall and holiday gift ideas. Check out their new line of organic grow kits, including basil, thyme, sage, rosemary, and many more. For you Razorback fans, Sisters has a large assortment of mugs, trays, banners, clothing items, and accessories. From fall and holiday floral arrangements, unique centerpieces, colorful wall decor, or exquisite serving pieces, Sisters has just the right item for any occasion. Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. We are so much more than flowers.
Go ahead, say it. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. That somebody's me. I'm Bruce Lovins, better known as Little Bruce with the Roof, at your service.
That was over 20 years ago. The hat has changed, but we still provide the same great service. We not only clean chimneys, we do dryer vents, gutters, and handyman jobs.
Little Bruce on the Roof Chimney Services. Call 870-688-3389 and let Bruce come to you. That's Little Bruce on the Roof. Call 870-688-3389.
Call me.
I'm Brittany. I work in the operatory. I assist the doctor and I make our patients as comfortable as possible. I've never worked for anybody that seems to care for her staff like she does and really cares for her patients. The best thing about working here really is seeing people get the smile they've desired for years and seeing the outcome of happy tears and smiles.
Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
Court will call 2016-257, State of Arkansas versus Joseph Ballard. Joseph Ballard. Okay, this matter is for arraignment on charges, and of rape, a Class Y felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent Mr. Ballard.
He's made application, Your Honor, if I may approach.
He may. Court will make the appointment of the Public Defender's Office on this case. Court's made the appointment of the Public Defender's Office.
Your Honor, if we could address the issue of bond today.
On the charge of rape, how does the defendant now plead?
We'd enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Plea of not guilty is entered on the defendant's behalf. This case is assigned to the Division 3 docket of Judge Putman. I'll put him down to reappear on October 7th in front of Judge Putman to get on that court's scheduling order. I'm going to the bond at this point was originally set at $250,000. What says the defense?
From my understanding, Mr. Ballard's from the area, has family here. If I could inquire him a few questions, Your Honor.
You may.
Mr. Ballard, how long have you lived around here?
Mr. Ballard, can you hear the question?
He has some hearing loss.
I've lived in America since the
Since when?
May 24th.
Okay.
Do you have family in Newton County, Mr. Ballard?
Do you have family? Yeah.
Look.
Yes, I do.
All right. Yeah.
And have you recently retired from the military, sir?
Have you recently retired from the military?
That is correct, sir.
And is your intention to stay in the area, Mr. Ballard, if you were to bond out?
If you bond out, are you to stay here in Harrison or?
In the Newton County area.
That's all I've got, Your Honor, that I'm aware of in the case. We would ask for the bond to be lowered so this man would have a chance to bond out.
Your Honor,
the court would want to know where he would be bonding out. Obviously, it's not appropriate that he bond out to the household in which the victim is in.
Where would you be bonding out? Where would you be residing at, Mr. Ballard, if you got out?
Where would you be staying at?
I would be staying with either my sister or my mother.
So that would not be the 416 Bella Vista address?
It would be 416 Bella Vista.
No, it would not.
That's the address, I believe, where the victim resided at, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense on the issue of bond? Mr. Carter?
Your Honor, in doing this investigation, it is apparent that, number one, this situation has existed for a number of years, both here and in other countries. There were accusations made against Mr. Ballard involving, I believe, another child in Japan. Plus, he freely admits that he goes to a website called Teenage Asians. Your Honor, based upon all of that, the state is extremely concerned about two things. Number one, the safety of the public. Number two, he is charged with a Class Y felony rape of somebody under the age of 14. Under our law, that's a mandatory minimum of 25 years, for which you do not see the parole board for 17 and a half years. The incentive to run in this particular case is extremely high, and given the history that the state has developed at this point, the safety of the public needs to be the court's utmost concern. Therefore, a $250,000 bond seems appropriate.
All right. Well, at the present time, the court's going to leave the bond at $250,000. That's going to be cash or professional bond. If he makes that bond, it'll be conditioned upon having absolutely no contact whatsoever with the victim in this case or the household in which that victim resides. If he's in contact with family members of the victim, the court expects that those family members to recognize the need that he can't be around the victim or anybody closely associated with the child. On that basis, and that'll be a very specific prohibition on the bond. Furthermore, the court will condition the bond upon having no contact with the website or websites that Mr. Carter mentioned have come up in the investigation, and he will not. If he does bond out, he'll not be allowed to leave. Certainly not the state, and not leave the area of Boone and Newton County. Now, what we need to do is advise Judge Putman's court of the hearing issues in this case, so that when he appears next week, as I've ordered in front of Judge Putman, that we can have something set up. If we're going to do more today, we'd do something to have some hearing assistance arranged for him. But in light of the fact that I'm just simply passing the case to the court that's been assigned to it, I'm not going to do that today. But it is important that we let Judge Putman know in advance, because those arrangements can be made.
Your Honor, could you ask him if he signs, or is it just that he needs volume?
Mr. Ballard, my question is, do you use sign language to hear, or what hearing assistance do you need while you're in the court system?
What hearing assistance do you need?
My hearing aids, and then to basically sit as close as possible.
Okay. But you don't use sign?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll make Judge Putman, who has been assigned to your case, aware of that, and if this case proceeds in his court, arrangements will be made to accommodate your hearing loss. So, all right, that'll be the order of the court. You may be excused at this point. 2016-179, State of Arkansas versus Olivia McMullen.
Your Honor, Mrs. McMullen's made application to the Public Defender's Office. If I may approach.
Amen. Court will make the appointment of the Public Defender's Office to represent Mrs. McMullen.
Your Honor, would waive a formal reading of the information and enter a not guilty plea. And I believe it's a Division III case.
It is.
Judge Bond said at $100, and I think that's probably about as reasonable as it gets.
Court's trying to determine this case is based on allegations arising in May of 2016. I want to make sure, and that's the listed arrest date is May 16, 2016. So we need to, though an alias warrant apparently was issued in July for non-appearance.
She was apparently in Bowie County, Texas, and currently she's being held no bond pursuant to the alias warrant.
When was the alias warrant issued?
July 8, 2016. We issued it. Service. It reflects service on September 9th of 2016. She'll be, she's going to be ordered to reappear in front of Judge Putman on October 7th to get on his scheduling order.
Your Honor, would the court be willing to address the no bond of the alias warrant?
Mr. Carter, what? Yes, the court's fine with addressing that. What says the state? What do you have information about her?
Your Honor, all I had was that she was in Bowie County, Texas, and I'm not sure why she was in Bowie County, Texas. Judge, apparently down in Arkadelphia, she was just put up on probation. So apparently she's got problems all over this area. So with regard to that, I just believe that if we leave it at no bond, we can have Judge Putman address it next week.
Judge, I'd argue she's entitled to a bond. If she's been put on probation, she was appearing down in Texarkana. I'm not sure what the underlying charge is.
Well, it's drugs and a DWI second offense is among the charges. So.
She was put on.
I guess if she originally had a bond, Judge, if we could reinstate what the original bond was, and then she could potentially get with the bondsman to see if they would stay to get back on that, whatever the original amount was.
See what it was.
Judge, the probation office relates to me. It's also drug charges down in Arkadelphia. And I don't know what the situation was in Bowie County, Texas, which Mr. Gibson has pointed out is Texarkana.
Court's going to set it. Court's going to set a bond at. I'll set a bond. It'll be $50,000 cash or professional bond. It'll be conditioned upon no possession of drugs or alcohol, and all the standard conditions, and what essentially the court is doing is doubling the original bond, which she didn't appear on. So $50,000 will be the bond that the court will set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, John?
Yes?
I was actually sentenced to go into a one-year residential treatment program on top of the 5-year probation. in Missouri. I have all the paperwork and sentencing information, and they would transport me back and forth to go to court as well.
And that was in Missouri?
Yeah.
Because we haven't even talked about Missouri. We have you in Texas, we have you in trouble and elsewhere in Arkansas, and then we have these charges here. I wasn't aware you were in trouble in Missouri as well. Young lady, listen to me.
To go there.
Ma'am, what you need to do is you need to get in touch with your attorney who's been appointed to represent you today, provide him this information, and he can make appropriate argument in front of the judge who's assigned to the case next week. So that's where we're going to leave it today. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
You bet. You may be excused.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of a community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There is one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a crucial commitment to their community because just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison has a Health Mart now. Sam Alexander Pharmacy, on the square in downtown Harrison. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
I'm Randall. I work at the on-site lab at Dental Creations on the square at Harrison. Working with Dr. Wanda is great. She's taught me a lot and showed me a lot, and she gives us the freedom to get one-on-one with the patient. If there's a problem, we can actually come out of the back and do what's best for the patient. Having this on-site lab here with the doctors, that's really nice.
Dental Creations on the square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
You know, we should always remember to have a working smoke detector where we sleep. Let's go, let's go. Okay, we're all safe, we're all safe. In an emergency, you need a meeting place outside the whole family can meet, so that you know everyone is safe.
2016-238, State of Arkansas versus Shad Stewart.
He's made applications to the public defender's office.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Court is making the appointment of the public defender's office in this case.
Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading of the information, enter a plea of not guilty.
Mr. Stewart is charged with possession of methamphetamine with a purpose to deliver and possession of drug paraphernalia, and the court is noting a plea of not guilty on that charge. This case is on the Division 4 docket, and on my docket, the arrest date is listed as August 18th of 2016, and the court is setting it by scheduling order for trial during the week of May 8th of 2017. The plea offer rejection date will be May 5th of that month. Pre-trial will be set for March 24th. of 2017, and a reappearance will be ordered for February 10th of 2017. Are there any other matters to be brought up at this time?
Not today, Your Honor.
I just
Yes.
saw that.
His alias was served on September 8th.
Issued on September 2nd, served on September 8th. You may be excused, sir. 2016-68, State of Arkansas versus Aaron Atkins.
There's been a plea offer made today. There's no pretrial motions to take up that I'm aware of. And I will convey and visit with my client about the plea offer today.
Okay.
No further issues to take up.
So you haven't had a chance to convey that offer at this point?
That's correct, Your Honor. We received it this morning.
Okay.
He's in the DOC, you know.
He is a DOC.
So he is up here today.
Right.
Is what you're saying.
And he is set for trial on October 31st.
Judge, I'll try to get
Let's
in touch with him.
do this. Let's bring him over because he's up from the DOC. Let's bring him over today while he's here and have a chance at least to discuss that between the two of you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Facilitate that.
Thank you.
I'm not going to do that with everybody, but I mean, he's up from the jail. I mean, the prison. Let's do that. So I'm directing that Mr. Atkins be brought over for the afternoon session of court.
Thank you, sir.
You may be excused. From the reappearance list, 2016-80, State of Arkansas versus Adam Ballard.
Your Honor, we received some additional discovery this morning, the crime lab report, and also a plea offer for Mr. Ballard. Not had an opportunity to visit with him on it as we got it this morning, but I'll get with Mr. Ballard. It looks like there was an alias warrant issued.
Yeah, he was arraigned, I believe, on April 1st. Let's see. Okay.
Judge, I show him.
And then it was that he did not appear on the 2nd of September, a date that his pretrial was set on.
And Judge, on August 5th, the defendant had indicated he was in Illinois due to a family death, and the court said he is going to appear 9/2/16. He must appear, no exceptions, and then he didn't appear. And as I recall, there was some discussion about a funeral notice, etc., to justify his not being here on August 5th.
The alias warrant was served on, was issued, as Mr. Carter says, on the 2nd of September, served on the 7th of September. So, where do we stand at this point?
Judge, we've got a plea offer. I guess we'll just leave it on the current trial schedule. I'll get with Mr. Ballard, and I think we're set plea deadline is October the 28th. Trial during the week of October the 31st. I think we can keep those dates and move this case forward.
All right. Well, pretty optimistic.
I am.
All right. Mr. Ballard, your next appearance in court will be on the 28th of October. In the meantime, your attorney is, who's taking over this case, Mr. Gibson, will be in touch with you.
Judge, if I could briefly address bond. The bondsman says that he will stay on Mr. Ballard's bond. I I don't have a history with Mr. Ballard, so it looks like he did have potentially a death in the family on the August the 5th day, which he was given until the 2nd.
Yep.
If the original bond could stand and Mr. Campbell stay on the bond, would the court be willing to allow Mr. Ballard to bond back out?
The state's concern is the August 5th date, and potentially the defendant's lack of communication with the public defender's office. And so I think he's entitled to some sort of bond, but the state's concerned about his virtual lack of appearance unless he's here via video.
Trying to find I don't find in the file who he was out on bond with. So I don't know. Is it Campbell bonding?
Campbell bonding.
Well, the court's concerns are that this case is a relatively old case now, approaching 8 months old. It is set for trial, but it's set for trial during an extremely busy trial period, and I don't want to have to postpone the trial, just because he loses contact again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to authorize him to, if Mr. Campbell is willing to stay on his bond, or he could make another $10,000 bond. The court would authorize a release on that. But Mr. Ballard, that's based on it is your obligation to stay in touch with your attorney. You've just had a new attorney appointed because of turnover in the public defender's office. This man can't be prepared to represent you either on the 28th of October or in court on the 28th of October or the next week when your case is set for trial, unless you get in there and communicate with him. And you also have an obligation, if you're going to be out of town, to stay in touch with your bonding company, make sure that they know where you are. We had the bad experience of, I'm not questioning that you went to a family, a death in the family, responded to a death in the family, but we've got no proof of that, and you didn't come back, when we overlooked it that one time. So you need to make an extra effort to stay in touch with everybody, and it's particularly important in terms of your attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll authorize you to be released on that bond, but you need to be, the first thing you need to do is get in to see your attorney, Mr. Gibson, through the public defender's office. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. You may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
$10,000.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of a community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There is one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a crucial commitment to their community because just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison has a Health Mart now. Sam Alexander Pharmacy, on the square in downtown Harrison. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Introducing two new families of ATVs from Yamaha. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700. The new Grizzly offers increased power and performance to deliver more exploration and more adventure. The new Kodiak 700 features legendary Yamaha reliability for more productivity and more value. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700 ATVs, all with more than ever before.
Go ahead, say it. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. That somebody's me. I'm Bruce Lovins, better known as Little Bruce on the Roof, at your service.
That was over 20 years ago. The hat has changed, but we still provide the same great service. We not only clean chimneys, we do dryer vents, gutters, and handyman jobs.
Little Bruce on the Roof Chimney Services. Call 870-688-3389 and let Bruce come to you. That's Little Bruce on the Roof. Call 870-688-3389.
Call me.
A hint of autumn is in the air, and the staff at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop invite you to stop in and browse their selection of new fall and holiday gift ideas. Check out their new line of organic grow kits, including basil, thyme, sage, rosemary, and many more. For you Razorback fans, Sisters has a large assortment of mugs, trays, banners, clothing items, and accessories. From fall and holiday floral arrangements, unique centerpieces, colorful wall decor, or exquisite serving pieces, Sisters has just the right item for any occasion. Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. We are so much more than flowers.
Again, on the reappearance list, we have 2016-130, State of Arkansas versus Kurt Grunwald. This case is set for trial during the week of December 12th, and a pretrial is scheduled for October 28th.
Your Honor, I believe we received discovery in this matter. It's in the file. I have not reviewed it at this time. I would just ask to stay on our current scheduling order.
All right.
Your Honor, this is a case, I believe, that back on September 2nd, I had asked that the trial date be moved up to 10/31 of 2016. And that's when Mr. Bunch made his unsuccessful 60-day argument.
Unsuccessful 60-day argument.
He had argued that the state had not filed charges within 60 days of the defendant's arrest on March 4th of 2016. The court denied that motion, but with regard to my request of having the trial moved to October 31st, that's still out there. And the reason I want it moved to October 31st is at the moment there are no excluded periods, so by law, on December 4th, we would have to release him from jail. And given the nature of these charges, the state of Arkansas does not want to see that happen.
Well, I think by law, this individual is entitled to a fair trial, and the problem from the public defender's office, he's had the attorney who's representing him, I think, has picked up the file for the first time today and has had no contact with him to get prepared to initiate any kind of attempt at a defense. And we're essentially talking him going to trial 30 days from today with an attorney who had no advance preparation. If the public defender's office had been on the case for the entire time, I wouldn't be concerned about that. I just think it's unfair to defense counsel to expect him to pick up the file on a serious case of this type. The court, I understand your argument, but we're going. Court's going to deny your motion. We need to get this matter ready for trial. If it's going to trial, it needs to go to trial on that time. If it's going to be a plea, then that needs to come forward on the 28th and resolve the case. So let's move forward.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. 2016-97, State of Arkansas versus Brian Knight.
Judge, we have a restitution hearing today on Brian Knight and his wife, Lori Ann Knight.
Okay.
So I guess Mr. Knight will need to be brought over this afternoon.
All right. Well, I'll direct that Mr. Knight be brought over. We'll take that matter up in the afternoon.
And Judge, can we also excuse Lori Knight until this afternoon? Both of them have already pled. It's just a restitution hearing.
I understand.
Well, that's not exactly right. Mr. Knight, I believe, will also need to be sentenced. I don't think we did that last week. So.
Oh, this is off Judge Putman's docket?
Yes, sir.
And it hasn't been. There hasn't been sentencing.
Judge, I think there was one issue with regard to the suspended imposition of the sentence.
It depended on how much the restitution was going to be, how much
That's
the
correct.
suspended imposition.
That's true, Judge.
Okay, so that's an issue that can be taken up at the rest.
Yes, sir.
All right. Just put it down. You may be excused. You'll be brought over this afternoon. All right. Based on the revocation list, we have 2012-83, State of Arkansas versus Rachel Ann Marie Allen. This is down for hearing today. Is it for hearing today?
Judge, I see that the last note in the file was from February 5th of 16, and there was an FTA issued by this court.
And since today is 9/30 of 16, and her previous allegation was being an absconder, state's ready. I have made a plea offer in this matter, although I could only do it this morning, and gave it to Mr. Gibson.
Yeah. She wrote, had the good sense. She recognized that she was down to reappear on some basis. She understood she was to reappear next Friday in front of Judge Putman, and her case was assigned to my docket, so she wrote a letter asking that she either be brought over today or on October 14th.
May I say something, sir?
Yes, you may.
I found out a couple of days ago that my fiance has been hospitalized for multiple seizures due to a brain aneurysm. And I was wondering if I could possibly get on an ankle monitor or anything. I have an address, but I would appreciate that.
Well, let's get some things straightened out first, because I'm trying to figure out where this matter stands. It's down for hearing today. Can we have a hearing today?
Judge, if we bring her over and visit with her, I think we can tee it up. The facts sound simple enough. We'll either plead or try it.
All right. I'm going to direct that you be brought over this afternoon, and we may be able to address your request in terms of what happens at that hearing later today. So you'll be brought over to meet with your attorney.
Okay, thank you.
All right. 2015-74, State of Arkansas versus Jessica Cash. Once again, this is down for hearing today. There's a note in the file or on the docket sheet that Ms. Cash was hiring a private attorney. Is that your intent?
No, I had a public defender, Mr. Bunch, I believe.
And see, what's happened is you had Mr. Bunch because Mr. Bunch was the executive or the head public defender. I believe you were at one time represented by Mr. Russo, and he has left the office. He's substituting in for Mr. Russo is Mr. Gibson. So he's probably going to be the public defender assigned to your case. We had this matter set down for hearing today. Hopefully, we wanted to be able to move forward on the case. Now, Mr. Gibson, where do you stand on it?
Judge, just my review of it, it looks like it's a failure to pay and failure to report situation is the allegation. I guess there may be new charges coming. Is that?
She does have new charges.
Okay.
Have they already been filed?
They have been filed. I don't know whether they have been served on her yet.
No, I know nothing about new charges.
All right.
Judge, I guess sit her down for hearing, and we'll either, there's not a plea, but I think these are simple enough factual cases that...
We've got such an incredibly crowded docket on the 28th of October that I don't want to move these cases over to the 28th and, try to start over then. If there's some way we can get it straight today, let's get it straight today. I'm going to direct that she be brought over for this afternoon.
Thank you, Judge.
She was arrested on August 16th, so we have to resolve it today.
You're right.
August 12th.
All right. Very well. You may be excused. You'll be brought over for this afternoon. Meet with your attorney.
In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you by Campbell Bonding Company. Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
Go ahead, say it. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. That somebody's me. I'm Bruce Lovins, better known as Little Bruce on the Roof, at your service.
That was over 20 years ago. The hat has changed, but we still provide the same great service. We not only clean chimneys, we do dryer vents, gutters, and handyman jobs.
Little Bruce on the Roof Chimney Services. Call 870-688-3389 and let Bruce come to you. That's Little Bruce on the Roof. Call 870-688-3389.
Call me.
We should always remember to have a working smoke detector where we sleep. Let's go, let's go. Okay, we're all safe, In an emergency, you need a meeting place outside the whole family can meet, so you know everyone is safe.
Well, howdy, folks. Brewster the Rooster here from the Chicken House. I want to tell you about some great specials we've got just for you. On Saturdays, you can save 10% off any of our menu items, and on Sundays, we bump it up to 20%. And to keep it interesting, every Monday through Friday, we offer up a special deal of the day that you can only find out when you stop by the Chicken House on Highway 65 North in Harrison. Come on by and enjoy the Cajun-infused flavor in every bite of crispy, crunchy chicken.